A few weeks ago, I was talking to a business contact, and one of their team members took 3 unplanned weeks off work. There was no warning, there was no conversation about it, just, I'm not coming to work today. I've reached breaking point. That team member had reached a point where work and life had become so overwhelming that they had to take time off work. And this business contact, a leader, a good leader, someone who genuinely cares, they had absolutely no idea that this team member was struggling. And if you're responsible for a team, this video is for you. Because what happened to that team member is happening in workplaces all across the UK. And most leaders never see it coming. And today I'm going to show you exactly why. Now, research shows that the majority of employees who experience stress will not tell their manager. In fact, 1/3 of working adults say they are not comfortable letting their line managers or senior leaders know if they are experiencing high levels of stress. So what do you do if you want to prevent your team from being stressed and taking unplanned time off work? Well, there are 3 main reasons why your team hides their stress. And once you start to understand them, you'll start to see the signs you've been missing and help to put in systems and methods to help prevent them from reaching breaking point, ultimately helping your team, your business, and your organization. So let's look at the first reason. Most people believe that admitting stress means that they can't cope. In a workplace where busy is often being worn like a badge of honor, telling a leader or manager that you're struggling often feels like a sign of failure. Admitting stress feels like admitting weakness. And many people believe that if they express that they're stressed, it's going to look like a sign of weakness, which may prevent them from benefiting from other opportunities in their role further down the line. So leaders and managers need to create a culture where people feel comfortable expressing that they're stressed so that they can get help before it's too late. In fact, I had a discovery call with a potential client, and they were telling me about the challenges of their team and all the stresses that people are experiencing. There was high workload at this period of time. There was high pressure. But when it came to organizing a potential session, they didn't want to mention the word stress. They believed that if they didn't talk about it, it would go away. And I challenged them and said, no, we need to talk about it. If people can start to understand and learn the signs of stress, then they can put in methods to help prevent it before it's too late. Absolutely, let's have a workshop around stress. And this company was so resistant to using the word stress because they felt that if they highlighted it, it would backfire on them. When in my experience, it does the exact opposite. It brings teams closer together. Now, the second main reason people don't want to express their stress comes from their need to want to be a good team member. Your most committed team members are often the most stressed, and they're the least likely to say anything about it because mostly they're thinking about everyone else. They'll keep pushing through until physically they can't anymore. Then they'll have to take sick leave, and we don't want that. So the second reason is people don't want to let their team down. But when there's a supportive culture within a team, other people are happy to take the slack when someone is going through a busy period, and vice versa. The whole point of working in a team is to work as a team, not as individuals. And often team members don't want to express their stress because they don't want to let others in their team down. But sometimes a simple conversation around it can help find solutions to that stressor. So look at your team and think about the most committed people in your team and think, might they be stressed in their job role because they're doing so much? Now, the third main reason people don't tell you that they're stressed, and this is one that people don't really expect, because stress builds gradually. But the main reason they don't tell you is because they don't even recognize it themselves. Stress often builds gradually, and then it becomes the norm, and people normalize it. By the time it becomes a real problem, they've been living with it for so long that they just think that is the norm. Until one day, boom. I can't get out of bed. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm too stressed to come in. And we don't want that. We want teams to feel supported in their roles. We want them to feel appreciated. We want them to be challenged to get on with their job roles and do the best that they can, but to be able to do it in a stress-free or a stress-reduced way, right? We don't want people in our teams to feel overwhelmed and stressed. So how do you, as a leader, notice what to look for in your team members so that they don't end up calling in sick because of stress. If your team members are scared to speak up, what are the signs that you need to be looking for? Well, perhaps people are going quiet in meetings that they used to contribute to. Maybe they're taking longer to complete tasks that they normally breeze through. Maybe they're reacting or overreacting to small irritations that normally wouldn't even bother them. Maybe they're skipping lunch, skipping breaks just so that they can get on with their job role. Not good. Maybe they're being distant, or maybe they're just saying fine when you ask them, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm fine. Ask yourself this. How many times have you said, yeah, I'm fine, when actually you haven't been fine? It's your job as a leader to double check and make sure. Work's been a bit crazy lately. Are you sure you're fine? Is there anything I can do to support you? Now, one of the best ways you can support your team to help cope with stress is to help teach them and educate them of the signs of it so that they can recognize when things are getting a bit too much, and they can start to implement methods and best practices to help them better cope with their stressful situations. If you can teach them how to set limits on what they can actually take on and how to create space to recover from busy periods, then these are all things that will contribute to helping your team reduce stress. And if you can create moments where your team comes together to collaborate and communicate and discuss the challenges and then work together in ways that you can overcome those challenges, it not only helps reduce stress, but it brings the team closer. And that's what I've been doing since 2017, helping companies support their teams to overcome their challenges, support their health and well-being, ultimately improving their productivity, improving their performance, and creating a more collaborative and efficient working environment. And if you want help to create this space within your team, head to the link in the description box, check out the website, and get in touch. And if you're not ready to support your team in this way yet, why not join the free mailing list where I send out free resources to help organizations support their people? Now, there's one thing that you can do right now to help your team with their stress, and that's to support them with their mindset. Now, for a mindset exercise that I run with teams, check out this video here. A great exercise to try with your team, see how they react, see how they respond, and give it a go. And why not come back to this video and let me know how it goes? But remember, a happy workforce is a productive workforce.